Today's build was actually inspired by a desk mat I recently picked up. It's part of the Brushworks series of desk mats. Specifically, it's the Tori design. This was a group buy on Omnitype a little while back. Really impressed with the quality of this desk mat, and it actually inspired me to want to create a keyboard themed around this. So, on display today is this keyboard, which I'm calling Omoikane. I wanted this keyboard to sort of reflect the serene, peaceful nature of this desk mat, and in order to do that, it had to meet 4 basic criteria: minimal distractions, simple form factor, easy typing experience, quiet. So let's get into it and see how we did. If you like content like this and want to dive deeper into some of the more bespoke aspects of custom mechanical keyboards, PC technology, and beyond, make sure you like the video on the way out and make sure you're subscribed and notified so you don't miss any of our content when it goes live. I wanted to keep the cost relatively low to make this more approachable, so we started with the Practice 65 V2 from Cannon Keys. Links to this and all items in the video listed in the description. The Practice 65 V2 is probably one of the cheapest bare bones kits you can buy at around $48 US plus shipping as of filming. It's regularly in stock and aimed at giving you an easy-to-learn and versatile soldered platform that can grow with you, evidenced by the SMDs being pre-installed for you in this revision, leaving only the switches for you to do. Through-hole LEDs and ARGB strip are optional. The board supports several different layouts, and while the stock plate limits some of those options, you still have the ability to do things like a split backspace and a 7U spacebar. The case, if you want to call it that, is just 2 pieces of FR4 with 6 copper standoffs holding everything together with some thumb screws at each end. If you wanted to tighten these fasteners a little bit further, you can technically do that with an Allen key, but if you have a T10 Torx bit, that will also fit in these just fine. PCB mounted stabilizers are supported, so we went with some custom stabilizers from Morgree. Full palm construction, gold-plated components, washers included. Unfortunately, this revision has the same issues V1 Durock and Cherry housings have, in that wires are prone to popping with caps that fit tightly to the stems. And in this case, our Drop Artifact Bloom Red Velvet cap set does. It's otherwise a pretty nice cherry profile dye-sub PBT cap set with a warm white versus the cool white of the Practice 65, but it kind of works for me. Since the cap set and stab combo presented us with an issue, we needed a solution. KBD fans to the rescue with their PCB mount stabilizer companion kit. Consisting of 2 sets of polycarbonate wire hooks with 3M adhesive to hold the hooks to the housing and housing pegs to shore up clip-ins, this kit's designed to secure the wires and housings of any problematic set of stabilizers. The kit actually works really well, it's just kind of a shame that we had to use them in the first place. In keeping with the color and acoustic theme, we went with Gateron's Silent Red switches, lubed with 205 grade 0 on the stems and springs. These have a naturally scratchy feel to them due to the silicone bumpers at the ends of the slide rails. Lube helped with the scratchiness, but getting enough lube to completely remove it results in a sluggish switch when using 205 grade 0, but your mileage may vary based on lubing habits, lube used, and batch quality. Tying the whole thing together is a cable that is as simple as the rest of the build. A straight red paracord cable with white tech flex and black heat shrink from Donut Cables. Shockingly difficult to find a company to do custom straight cables with no coil or Aviator or YC8 connector. But I am happy to report this cable is of really good quality, especially considering what was paid for it, and turnaround time was fairly reasonable at around 2 weeks from time of order placement to shipping. So in general, I'm actually really happy with how this entire setup turned out, and I'm happy to recommend this specific build if you're looking for an entry-level soldering project and you want to try out some silent switches. I actually enjoy silent switches a little bit more than I thought I would, and you're going to want to stay tuned if you're curious to see what some of the higher-end options are out there, because we'll be taking a look at some in some future content. Now, as a beginner project, this is very newbie-friendly. They make this board about as easy to approach as possible for someone who's never soldered their own keyboard together before. And they give you enough additional supported layouts that it's not such a daunting task to solder everything together, because that can trip up a lot of first-time keyboard builders if you're not used to seeing a bunch of different slots next to one another to support different layouts on a board. In the end, though, this is all ultimately judged by the eye of the beholder. So, sound off down below. What do you think about the setup we came up with today? What's your experience been with silent switches in the past? Did you like them, or could you go without them? And I'll catch you all next time. Take it easy.